one of the things that I'd been through as a student was some leadership training, and one of the things they taught us was to not be afraid of failure, and instead to have the goal to fail a lot quickly, and then eventually you'll succeed. And I sort of took this to heart, and they also had a slogan called "Healthy Disregard for the Impossible." And they actually made you write down sort of the things you would do that were kind of impossible, but you thought you might really accomplish. And that's really stuck with me in everything that I've tried to do. And I think, it was very, very close that we wouldn't have started the company. And I think there are many of you out there in sort of similar situations. Do you want to take a little bit more risk? Do you want to try something out? And, even if you don't succeed, we actually tried many things that didn't work. Google happened to work pretty well. But there are many things that we did that didn't, but we don't worry about those, right? Because we tried many things. So I just encourage you to take a little more risk in life. And I think if you do it often enough, it will really pay off. Anything you can imagine probably is doable, right? You just have to imagine it and work on it. And things that we thought were almost impossible. So we were interested in machine translation. There are services on the web. We had licensed one that could translate between different languages. And obviously for search, if the information's not in your language, we can't find it for you. And most information's not in your language, right? This is sort of by definition. And so we thought, well, it'd be great if we could provide search results from any language for any query. And so we're really focused on that problem. And we focused on it and we developed Google Translate. And we found some machine learning researchers and we said, do you think you can translate, between any languages and do it better than an average human translator? And they laughed at us. They said, no, we can't possibly do that. But they actually were willing to try. And 6 years later, we can translate between 64 languages. And it's amazing, actually. We're better, many languages we're better than an average human translating. We can do it instantly and for free. And between those 64 languages, we can translate between any two of the languages. So we have something like 4,000 languages we can translate between. And so I'm just trying to give you, I guess I'm tremendously optimistic that whatever things we try to challenge, whatever challenges we try to take on, we can solve with a little bit of concerted effort and some good technology. And I think that's a really exciting place to be in the world. So I think we want more people working on it. We want to have more ambitious goals. And I think with that, we could easily double kind of human progress and the rate at which we're developing. I talked a little bit about focusing the company. And I think that I want to talk a little bit about making some big bets. And we always try to concentrate on the long term, what we're doing for the long term. And I think that many of the things we started up that are really big now, like Chrome, were seen as kind of crazy when we launched them. And so how do we decide what to do? How do we decide what's really important to work on? Well, I like to call the toothbrush test. So the toothbrush test is, do you use it as often as you use your toothbrush? And for most people, I guess that's twice a day. Raise your hand. Twice a day? Yeah. Okay, most people. So I think, we really want things like that. And I think things like Gmail, obviously, use much more than twice a day. And YouTube, I think that those things are amazing. And I think that, we look at things like YouTube, people thought, oh, you guys are never going to make money with that. You bought it for $1.4 billion. You're totally crazy. And we were reasonably crazy, but it was a good bet. And we've actually been doubling revenue every year on YouTube for 4 years. And actually, if you're doubling things, it starts to add up pretty quickly, even no matter where you start from. So I think that's a good example of how sort of our philosophy is that we see things that people use a lot, that are gonna be really important to them, and we think that usually you can make money from those things over time. A well-run technology business can be monetized over time.